What's up, peeps? Today I'm going to be going over my workflow using the Insta360 software on a phone. I'm using an iPhone 14 Pro, but this is the same for iPhones and Android phones. And if you're new here, my name is Damon Warren, and this is Day One Tech. This is the channel where I share my tech experiences. After you record your footage and you transfer it to your phone using the Insta360 app. Now, when you first pull it up, it's usually in the portrait mode. The first thing I do is switch it over to 16:9, which is the standard. And then if you hit the plus right there at the bottom, you can change the view. I like linear because it's the most natural feeling. And I kind of, whichever way I'm gonna face this. This is the new Wegmans in Wilmington. I'm just going to be walking around it. So I get it set up and then I hit update frame. This is just a walking one. And what I like to do is I will just scroll through it with my finger manually and adjust it as needed. I'm just walking along here, giving it a little shot. All the people that were there for opening day, and I'll hit the plus along the way. But this is a pretty cut and dry. Now, one of the things that I like, I will go through here, get the pieces I want to use. And with a lot of editing software, which you have to do when you want to cut it, let's say, you have to go from the beginning, but you can actually trim this going in reverse. So I know I want to end it. I'm going to end it right about there. So I can hit trim. I go to jump cut. I click on the scissors, and then I can scroll backwards to the beginning. And I know there was a little bit before it actually started moving. So now I know, all right, that's when it's starting to flow. Click on the scissors, check mark at the bottom, and that's all nice and framed up. I've started to use the Vivid recording. Then that way I'm not using the Color Plus or the Clarity Plus in the app. What I'm going to do is export this footage, and then I'm going to actually edit the video using LumaFusion. So I take all the parts, put them into LumaFusion, then edit it in LumaFusion, then I'll put a grade through the whole thing or adjust the colors. So I try not to do too much to the colors using the app. I go up to the top here, export. And the one thing that was a little tricky for me, when you first go to export, it will be set for this little circle with the little eyeball in there, and that's the default for the Insta360, and it's flat and then say auto. What I do is I put it into custom, then that allows me control over the bit rate. I usually go between 75 and 100. 24 frames, I do 24 or 30 frames. The resolution is at 1080, and then I also make sure that it's clicked on whatever app you're using. This is the photo album for an iPhone, or if I'm going to send it to YouTube or Facebook, and it just helps with the format. Now, I recorded 5.7K, but it only exports at 1080 unless you go to 360. And then if I go into 360, see how it defaults to the Insta360 eyeball, switch it over to the photo, and that's where I get my 4K. So I can export at 4K 360. And I was actually doing this at the default, and I was going, why? And that's actually it. You have to pick the photo album, YouTube, or any of the other ones, but it will not do it if you're going to the Insta360 app. All right, so I'm going to do this as a standard. I got the custom 24, 75, and then I hit export. Now the export, depending on the length, it goes through. And I'll speed this up. Now it's finished rendering, and it is in my photo album. And now that it's in the photo album, I can go into LumaFusion and I can start a new project and use that footage. And there it is. Drag it up into the timeline, and then it's there. Now here's another thing that you can do. Rather than load up the footage and edit that way, you can actually go to where it says stories. You click on the scissors at the bottom where it says stories, and you go create story. And this will allow you to select multiple clips in the order that you want to present them. So if I wanted to, let's say 1, 2, 3, those 3, I select those 3 clips. It puts them in a timeline. Click on the part, and all the way over bottom left it says reframe. Click on reframe, then I click on viewfinder. And what I usually like to do, you can do combination. Combination allows me to decide which way I want. I hit the X, that's my keyframe. I like linear, and then I can reposition how I want this to start. Update keyframe, and it's going to stay looking that way, and then I can scrub through this timeline, and we go to right about there. I set a keyframe, rotate it a little bit, so I'm going down that aisle, put another keyframe now, and that's this clip. I'm just going to fast forward, and when it gets to the second clip right there, it's the same thing. Right now that I have the second clip, I can actually decide, there's the train, so right at that point I can split, and everything before that in this clip I'm going to get rid of, and so forth. I can actually do the whole edit in the Insta360 app. This is all on my phone, and you can even set transitions in here. This allows you to use a couple different transitions, preview, inform, add text, put the text in there, and you can customize it. You can move it along the timeline, and now they've added stickers also, so you have a couple fun stickers in here. The app itself allows you to fully edit your video, and then you press the button over to the right, and that allows you to go through the different formats. And then I can reframe this shot now that I have it in a different way, and there you go. When you export, go into custom, select your photo album, and that will give you higher resolutions. Now, as you can see, because I edited it in the app, I can go up to 1440 for that. So if I go into 16:9, export, custom, 2560 by 1440. And I would use 16. I don't use the color plus or the remove grain. And if I hit export, exports it, all those clips as one clip, and I can either post it or whatever else I want to do with it, or I can actually export it as a 360 right onto YouTube, so you can use a virtual headset to view it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, take care of each other, peace out, and I'll see you all soon.